God with us, close to us. In God we live and move and have our being. Yeah, how do we know when we are close to God? I was going to send us out into breakout rooms this morning and have us talk about when we felt close to God. But I felt inspired by the Holy Spirit this morning to share with you a message about when I feel close to God. How do I know I'm feeling God's presence? And I feel God's presence, I feel close to God at 3 different times. When I'm feeling a calm, peace, safety, I can feel close to God. I get that feeling when I'm having a very intentional time of prayer. The time when I sit down, breathe, light a candle, actually let my body relax. Let me do some stretching beforehand and then center myself in God. I feel this sense of peace, this calm, and I feel close to God in that peace. I also feel close to God when filled with love and gratitude, with joy that excels all bounds of understanding. And this makes sense because God is love. So to feel that overwhelming sense of love and gratitude, of course, that would make me feel close to God. I almost always feel this way after worship or a meeting with you as a congregation. Being close to you and hearing your voices, knowing what's going on, fills my heart. And of course, anytime CJ is patient or especially kind to me, I feel overwhelmed with love and gratitude. And I feel close to God in those moments of love and gratitude. And thirdly, I feel close to God whenever overcome by wonder or awe. This happened a lot in the recent weeks. Having a chance to look and really notice all the blossoms of spring. Being home all day, in between meetings and phone calls, I'll slowly watch a flower blossom. And I'm overcome by wonder and awe. There's this tree outside that looked like a dead shrub. And we almost tore it out because we're like, what is this? Nothing can grow here. But in fact, it has slowly blossomed. And at first it had these weird looking leaves. And I said, well, it's okay. We'll keep it. And then this week, literally they exploded and these huge blossoms came out. And I was overcome with wonder and awe and gratitude. And that moment of wonder and awe, I felt close to God. And that makes sense because God's the creator. God is this mystical being, bigger than any of us. And so when we're overcome with wonder or awe, that is a sign of God's presence near us. The conference ministers also spoke about the troubling time we're in. And there can be these obstacles to feeling close to God. We might think in our heads, oh yeah, God's with us, I know, but do we really feel it? And there can be obstacles that get in the way of us feeling close to the divine. Think anxiety, nervousness about what is to be, what is to come, can cloud over the sense of calm and peace. The fear of loss, fear of losing loved ones, fear of losing practices or traditions that we love, that fear can get in the way of feeling that love and connection and gratitude. That fear can cloud out the love and connection that God is sending to us. And finally, that sense of wonder and awe, it can be clouded by selfishness. So when we are very internally focused, thinking about ourselves, or do I have all that I need? Do I have all my resources? Do I have enough food? When we're looking inward, we can miss what's going on around us. We can miss the magic and the beauty and the wonder that is around us, and then we miss out on God. This fear, anxiety, selfishness, they're like clouds that block God's sun. Clouds that block the sun's rays of warmth and light, making it hard to connect. And so the question is, how do we overcome these obstacles? How do we see the sun through the clouds? How do we let the clouds pass by? Faith and friends. Faith and friends can help the clouds dissipate. Now, faith is a trust in what is. Trust in what is. So trusting that a belief that God is indeed present and with us. And how we strengthen that trust in times of trial. For me, I look to our scriptures. I remember times in my own life that God has been present, especially when I look back. Oh yeah, God was there. Something happened. And reading the stories of our faith, we see God's hand in so many trials, whether it's leading the Israelites through the desert, promising Abraham a family. So many possibilities that God has made come to light. So that faith, that trust that God is indeed at work, and noting that we are Christians, so we believe in a God that overcame crucifixion, death on the cross to be with us. So living into that faith gives us the strength and pushes those clouds of anxiety and fear and selfishness away. And secondly, friends. Faithful friends can help remind us, of course, and help us persevere in love. But they also make the journey easier. I think this is why it's so important to stay connected during this time in whatever way works best for you. And sometimes that's a Zoom meeting, sometimes that's a social distanced get-together where you're far apart, but you see each other. And maybe it's phone calls or letters. But friends make the journey easier. They help dispel the clouds that block out the sun. One, by helping us laugh. And laughter is key. It dispels that cloud of anxiety and instills a sense of peace. And in peace we find God. An act of care and attention can dispel that cloud of fear. So when we care for others or are cared for, that fear of loss dissipates a little bit, and we can get closer to that sense of love and gratitude in which we find God. And finally, the needs of friends. And often we talk about like the fun parts of having friends, but often friends will need things. And maybe we have friends in our lives that are needy right now, and they need extra care. The fact that a friend needs us or needs help, needs support, dispels that cloud of selfishness. It forces us to look outside of ourselves. And when we do that, we're able to see more. When we're able to see more, we're able to see the wonder and the awe and the love and the peace. So friends and faith can help dispel the clouds that get in the way of being close to God. So my prayer, my hope for each of you this week and forever is to be as close to God as you can, to find that peace, to find that gratitude, to find that wonder and awe, that the clouds of fear and anxiety and selfishness would be dispelled, that your faith and your friends would help you draw near to the divine. So may it be so. May it be so.